Hi there, this is Fatima with the Twirling Feathers. Today we're going to be doing a lantern. We're going to be putting an arrangement on there. This is the lantern I used. It is a solar lamp, and this is the flowers that I chose to use. We're going to do a cluster. We're going to layer the flowers together, and then we're going to use a zip tie to attach them all. So we're not using the glue gun for this project. You can glue them if you like, but I did not. I just zip tied them all together. I sandwiched them. I put my green bundle, or my green flowers with the purple on there, and then the white, and then the hydrangeas on top. And so it's just a nice little cluster of flowers that you're going to zip tie together, and those are the hydrangeas that I used right there, and it makes such a beautiful little cluster. So this is such a quick, easy way to make arrangements with just very, very minimal stuff. And so you zip tie that together. I love zip ties. I use them all the time. And then we're going to attach it to that lantern. I bought this lantern a few years ago. This was a tutorial I did, a class I did a few years back, but I thought this is so pretty. I wanted to show this to you all. So I'm going to do the ribbon or the bow for my cluster before I attach it onto my lantern. So my husband made me this extra long bow maker. I do have a regular one, but I like using this extra long one sometimes. When I use bigger bolts of ribbon, I like to put it on there so they don't fall on the floor. But anyway, so that's what I'm using. I'm using that there. I also like to put a pin on the ends of my ribbon when I use them after I cut them, so that they don't unwind everywhere. So I always stick a little pin in my ribbon right there. But anyway, I'm going to use green for the bottom of my first layer of my ribbon. And so I'm going to do like a 4-inch tail, and then I'm going to do 2 loops on each side of that green, and twist in the middle. These bow makers are really fun and easy to work with, and it kind of frees your hands so that you can put your ribbon down. That lantern is about 11 inches tall, so whatever you're going to use, just kind of gauge what size you need to do your bundle and your ribbon, so it all kind of goes together. I did use a tiny bit of glue to put that Spanish moss in the middle of my cluster there. You don't have to, but I did, so I could cover my zip tie in the middle. And so that was really the only time I used my glue pot. So I'm going to do 4 inches on each side of the loop. And like I said, I'm going to do 2 on each side for the green. And then I have a contrasting ribbon that I'm going to use for the top one, and that one's only going to be 1 loop on each side. But and then my tails, and they'll probably make those probably about 4 inches. And then once you get them on your lantern, you can always trim them if they're too long. But yeah, so that's what my bow is. So that's very quick and easy to do. And then I'm using my other ribbon, and that one has pretty little owls on it. So just pick whatever ribbon you want to use. If it has a pattern on it, just make sure you twist your ribbon so you can see the pattern, because that ribbon only has a pattern on one side. So I just make sure I twist my ribbon to have the owls showing on the top part. And then I'm going to make the top one 3 inches on each side. So I'm only going to do 2 loops. And that's it. And then I'm done with my bow right there. And then I usually will slip that zip tie in there just to kind of make it easier to slip it out. And I just make sure my loops are the way I want it. And sorry about that. I had to adjust the camera because it kind of fell off I was trying to fall off the stand. So anyway, I'm trimming my ends right there. And like I said, once you put it on your lantern or wherever you're going to put it, if it's too long, then you can always trim it. And I just like to fluff it up, twist it, make sure it's going the way I want it. And then I put that zip tie going the long ways across the back, and that's what you're going to use to anchor that onto your lantern. And I'm getting my cluster. I kind of moved out of the camera shot, sorry about that. But there's my cluster, and I'm holding my ribbon up against it to make sure I like the size of it, which it looks pretty cool. I think it's so pretty. So I'm just making sure it all looks good together, and I really like the way it looks. I'm trimming that little back piece of that zip tie, and I did not use my good wire cutters. I guess I didn't have those handy, but I got that off. And then I usually put a little piece of ribbon in the middle just to cover the zip ties on the bow as well. So I cut a piece and I'm folding it in half, and I'm going to tie it in the middle, and that just kind of camouflages that zip tie that you put in the middle. And once I get that tied on there, I usually just trim those little ends of that piece of ribbon so you don't have all this extra stuff that you don't need on there. And then I slid my zip tie in there, but I'm going to trim those pieces that you can see that are sticking out right there. And make sure when you put your zip tie in the middle part, don't tighten it too much until you get that other piece in there, or else you'll have a hard time sticking that in. But I got it in there, and I'm adjusting my loops, and then I'm going to trim that piece right there, those pieces, because you don't need those on there. And then there we go. I've got my bow ready to go, and it looks so pretty. And I love that green, so that is really pretty. And there we go. And now we're going to sandwich everything together. I'm going to put my bow in the middle, and I'm going to put it around my cluster right there. And I love these clusters. I really do. I sold so many of these lanterns when I made this a few years back. So I don't know if they'll have these lanterns, now, because like I said, this was a couple of years back that I did this. But I've done a lot of these clusters since then and put them on different things. But I just thought this was so pretty, so quick, so easy, inexpensive, because you can use, even some leftover flowers from another project to sandwich it and then add your ribbon, and it just looks so pretty. I just love that look. So I got it on there. I'm adjusting my loops, and then I'm cutting that piece right there. Get that zip tie tail off of there, and there you have it. Look how adorable. I hope you try this. I hope you enjoy this project, and like I said, very easy, quick to do, and it just looks so pretty. I had mine on my patio table for quite a long time, and it lasted for quite a long time because it is solar, and it just looks so pretty. I love it.